Shalom, 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 Israel. First off, giving all honor and praises to the Most High and to His Son Yahweh Shah. Captain Benaniah with the battle axes of the Most High, coming to you with another first day of the week Q&A breakdown. To get questions that brothers and sisters may have, comments, whatever is on your spirit according to the scriptures, and see if we can get some understanding through the power of the Most High. Shalom to brothers and sisters that are tuning in. You got Brother Don Israel, Sister Deborah, Sister Yael, Brother Aaron One in the building, Officer Yaakov, Brother Ray, Battle Axes of Minnesota. Shalom to you, brothers, Brother Hosea, Sister Hannah, all y'all brothers and sisters that are tuning in. Sister Sapphire, Aqua, Yasharala, Sister Abria, Shalom, Brother Gerald Walker, Shalom, Shalom to all you brothers and sisters. Had a great Sabbath class with Captain Yari. We kind of want to just continue in that same spirit. Shalom, shalom, Brother House of Brother Daniel and Sister Mary Houston. Shalom to y'all. Shalom, Brother Renard in the building. Shalom. Where the twins at? Where they damn ass at? I mean, damn behind. I'm trying to stop cussing. Where they at? Like I say, I know brothers and sisters are seeing the things that are transpiring in the world. You see this situation with Texas and trying to separate and all type of madness, man. Hey, we have to pray, man. Shalom to Riker. Like they trying to succeed from the states, and hey, like another civil war. It's crazy. We see things wrapping up in the Middle East with NATO, trying to do what they would call military exercises or whatnot with 90,000 troops. These are things that Christ constantly warned us about, wars and rumors of wars. So we just tell brothers and sisters to constantly stay in the spirit, constantly keep watching out for these things, man. Let's go. One of my favorite precepts. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 1. I say, any brothers and sisters got any questions, put them in the chat. I'm going to make sure we go over these things, and Lord's will, we get some understanding. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 1. And it reads, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients and be occupied in prophecies. That's a heavy scripture. This is one of my favorite scriptures. I'm going to read this again. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High. When we constantly doing those things, that's what keeps us in the spirit, brothers and sisters. That keeps us tuned in to what's going on in the world. Keep us tuned in to how our spirit is operating in this wicked society. Keep us in tune to how we rock in our marriages, with husbands and wives, with the children's, keeping things in order, how we are at the jobs. These things transpire over on many different fashions. Shalom, Sister Nakut, that Israel. So we got to constantly be meditating on the law, because when we're not meditating on the law, that's how, guess what, wicked spirits can come in and guess what, try to take us away from this truth. Because as we get closer and closer to the end, brothers and sisters, Shalom, Brother Jonathan from Battle Axes, Minnesota. As we get closer and closer to the end, you're going to see more and more spirits going to and fro to pull brothers and sisters out of this truth, man. That's why it's pivotal that you gird up your loins, sisters, gird up your skirts in this truth. Stop playing around, congregate, keep these commandments, meditate on these things, man. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof. When it talks about meditating, meaning you're constantly thinking about God's laws. How can I apply this better? How can I be a better person in this truth? What more work can I put in this truth? And that's the mindset that brothers and sisters must always bring to this truth. What more could I do for the Lord? What can I do more for the congregation? What could I do more as being a righteous sister in this truth? What could I do more for being a righteous brother? So it's always work that needs to be done, especially if brothers and sisters are part of a congregation. Sisters have their jobs where they're stacking up, making sure supplies of meat in the congregation. Brothers are making sure that, guess what, things are in order. You know, the building constantly needs upkeep. So these are things that brothers and sisters must find out their talents on. And that kind of goes into that. It says, and is occupied in the meditation thereof. Will seek out the wisdom of all the ancients. And that's what the Bible is all about. Seeking out the wisdoms of our forefather, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Hosea, Micah, you know, Luke, James, John, you know, going into the prophets, going into Christ, obviously, you know, searching out the things that they did in a time of turmoil. It says, and be occupied in prophecies. He would keep the sayings of the renowned men, meaning when we speak these things, brothers and sisters, thoughts should be the Bible. You know, your thoughts, your language, as you start to grow in this truth, it should be the language of the Bible. Yeah, you're right, sis. It is a dangerous time right now, and it's only going to get worse and worse. You know, that's why we have to solidify ourselves in this truth. So the record is a period of isolation. Okay, if I feel like I'm not ready to seek out a wife, I would like to work on my situation and build my spirit more. Yes, most definitely. That's the thing that we talk to brothers and sisters about, because you actually have to be prepared for a wife. So in battle axes, if brothers are trying to prove a sister, we tell them come sit down and counsel first. You know, we kind of prove y'all. You know, we talk with brothers and sisters asking, how long have you been the truth? How long have you been keeping the commandments? Because that's one of the things that we always bring up. Brothers and sisters are not in the truth unless they are keeping the commandments. I repeat, you are not in the truth unless you are actually keeping the commandments. So you most definitely want to get your spirit right before you get a wife, you know, most definitely, because not only do you have to keep your spirit in check, now you also have another spirit to kind of keep in check as well. You have to be able to know the precepts to be able to guide and to teach her. You know, these things are very important for sisters' growth as well, because I know a lot of times for new brothers in the truth, you know, I'm talking with my wife on this countless times. I know a lot of times if brothers don't have the experience, you can kind of leave your wife behind because you're so busy trying to grow yourself, you know. So you have to have that mindset to where, like, dang, my wife, I need to build her up, I need to build myself up. So you have to make sure that you maintain that balance in between that. You getting your learning in and making sure that you are teaching and guiding her as well through the scripture. So most definitely, I'll take the time that you need to kind of get your spirit right, to kind of get your experience up, and to kind of seek counsel out on those things, you know. So most definitely, Brother Hosea, help me out. In Isaiah 19:24, why is Israel third and Egypt is blessed? What does it mean to be naked in Isaiah 20? I thought nakedness wasn't for us. Well, remember, Brother Hosea, nakedness is just a similitude. Now, the Bible could literally be talking about nakedness, but nakedness is also a similitude for sin. But let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 19 is a deep, deep chapter. And it's basically a prophetic chapter about America being compared to Egypt. So we're going to start up at verse 1. To kind of get a little understanding. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19 and verse 1, and it reads, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. This is going into Christ. A cloud is going into what? A chariot. When you read in the book of Psalms, chapter 104, it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. So we see, we don't have a physical account of Christ literally riding on a chariot coming into Egypt. So you have to think to yourself, what is this talking about? This is talking prophetically. Remember, America is a similitude for what? For Egypt, according to what? Revelations 11 and 8. Let's get there right quick. You know, we get that a lot of times where I don't see America in the Bible. You know, where is America? Remember, if the Most High God had the prophets literally put America in the Bible, they would have burned the Bible. You know, so these things are spoken to us in parables and in similitudes and in mysteries. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. And it reads, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So this America is spiritual Sodom and Egypt. Why is it spiritually Sodom and Egypt? Because they push homosexual laws. It's spiritually Egypt because they had us what? In captivity, like the Egyptians had us in captivity. So the Most High God identifies America with being what? Spiritual Egypt. So this is the Egypt that Christ is coming in a swift cloud, meaning the chariots with. Let's go back. Remember, we're reading verse 1 to kind of set the context. Then we're going to jump down. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 1, the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, meaning it's many idols in this landmass. You got Catholicism, you got the cross, you got the Islam, all these different religions. And with all these different religions come with their idols. You got what? The false image of Christ. That's how Christ was crucified here. They crucified his image. Not that they physically crucified him like the freaky false Christ was talking about last 2 weeks ago. Brother was bugged the hell out. And pretty sure it's because he's not keeping the commandments. But it says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. This is the point. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, meaning what? He's literally going to set the Americans against the Americans, because what? America is spiritual Egypt. What is going on right now, brothers and sisters? You literally have them at odds. Literally have Texas wanting to separate from America. That stuff is crazy, man. Because of they thinking the border situation is getting out of control. Hell, this is not their land any damn way. So this is all doing to the Most High God, making that division amongst them. And that's literally what they're doing. You got Edomite versus Edomite, Caucasians versus Caucasians, because that's the spirit of the Most High God has out there in the world to do what? To literally get them to fight against one another. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what we're seeing right now with Greg Abbott, with DeSantis, really kind of hard going at Biden. You see these things. Let's jump down to verse 24. Verse 24, as it says, in that day shall Israel be third with Egypt and with Assyria, even a blessing in the midst of the land. So when we remember, Egypt and Assyria are similitudes for America as well. Remember, he uses these things because they were the major superpowers of the ancient world. So remember, we still have people coming out of these specific areas too. So brothers and sisters literally have to pay attention to that. But when you read from verse 1 all the way down, you get a better context. We're not going to literally read the whole chapters because this will literally be hours and hours upon a breakdown. But we're going to kind of hit on the main points. I'm going to start up at verse 20. Start at verse 20. And it reads, and it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors. Remember, Isaiah was during the Assyrian captivity. So this was after the Egyptian captivity. So he couldn't literally be talking about this. Isaiah is prophesying about us crying in these last days today. This is what this is going to. This is prophetic or end time prophecies. Verse 20 again from the top. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors. And he shall send them a savior and a great one. And he shall deliver them. That savior and that great one is going into Christ. Yes, we know that, guess what? The Most High God used Christ in a way, guess what? To bring us up out of that ancient Egypt. But it's without a shadow of a doubt that Christ is coming back with the chariots, with thousands upon thousands of angels. When you read in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, when you read in the book of Habakkuk, when you read in the book of Micah chapter 5, these let you know that, guess what? Christ is coming. And this is that great one that's going to save us. So this is talking about this time. Verse 21, and the Lord shall be known to Egypt, and the Egyptians shall know the Lord in that day. Meaning when Christ come with the chariots and the thousands of angels, they know that Christ is coming not to play. He's coming in the wrath and power of the Most High. It says, and do sacrifice and oblation. Yea, they shall vow unto the Lord and perform it. Verse 22, and the Lord shall smite Egypt, and he shall heal it, and they shall return even unto the Lord. Meaning what? In this day, the Most High God is going to take these nations down. And guess what? Our people are going to turn wholeheartedly to the Most High God. It says, and he shall be entreated of them and shall heal them. Meaning what? From all the wickedness, these fleshly bodies, to literally do what? Program us with the law, statutes, and commandments as from the beginning. Verse 23, in that day there shall be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria. Salakia, remember, these are also similitudes for America. Egypt and Assyria are also similitudes for America. So brothers and sisters have to remember that, yes, in certain contexts, it can literally be talking about Assyria, but you have to see the context. This context right here, when it talks about Christ coming with the angels, how he's going to deliver us and be a great one in that day, context clues like that let you know that these are talking about end time prophecies and not ancient prophecies. It says, verse 23 again from the top, in that day there shall be a highway out of Egypt to Assyria, and the Assyrian shall come into Egypt, and the Egyptian into Assyria, and the Egyptians shall serve with the Assyrians. Meaning what? There's going to come a time, according to Isaiah 14:1, where we're going to put these nations into captivity. They're literally going to go into change for the things that they have done to our people. That's Isaiah 14 verses 1 on down. Many other precepts, Isaiah chapter 60 verse 15 on down. Many precepts. Revelation chapter 13 verse 9. It says, verse 24, in that day shall Israel be third with Egypt and with the Assyria, even a blessing in the midst of the land. Verse 25, whom the Lord of hosts shall bless, saying, blessed be Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hand. Why is it saying Egypt and Assyria? Remember, these are similitudes for America, meaning what? Our people are scattered over, because we know, according to the book of Joel 2:28, that the Most High God is not dealing with no other nation but the nation of Israel. So you have to kind of think to yourself, what does this mean? Remember, Israel was scattered amongst all nations. So when it talk in this particular type of language, you have to put the pieces of the puzzles together. No, this is talking about Israelites that are scattered in these particular type of places in America, that is also known spiritually as what? As Egypt and Assyria. It says, even a blessing in the midst of the land, whom the Lord of hosts shall bless, saying, blessed be Egypt, my people, and Assyria, the work of my hands, and Israel, mine inheritance. This is when he's what? Literally taking us up out of this particular place. So this is just making reference to the Most High God saving us by Yahushua out of the land of America, Brother Hosea. It says also, what does it mean to be naked in Isaiah 20:2? Let's jump down. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 20 and verse 2. At the same time spake the Lord by Isaiah, the son of Amos, saying, go and loose the sackcloth from off thy loins, and put off thy shoe from thy foot. And he did so, walking naked and barefoot. Remember, when you're reading the prophecies, Brother Hosea, the Most High God had prophets play out particular things that he was going to do on a larger scale to Israel. So in this particular case, yes, he literally had Isaiah walking barefoot and naked for a number of years to symbolize the curse that he was going to put on Israel as a whole. Remember, when the Assyrians took the northern tribe into captivity, this is how he took them into captivity, barefoot and naked, with hooks in their jaw, because they was of the wickedness that they was doing. So you will see that a lot of times being played out. Let's get some examples of that. Let's go to Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, verse 3. So you'll see that a lot of times, and we're going to get a few verses. So yes, this is Isaiah. He literally had him walking naked and barefoot as signs and wonders for the judgment that he was going to bring on Israel. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel and let's prove that. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 4 and verse 3. And it reads, moreover, take thou unto thee a iron pan, and set it for a wall of iron between thee and the city. This is the Most High God talking to Isaiah. It says, and set thy face against it, and it shall be besieged. Meaning what? The Most High God was giving prophecies to Ezekiel that the Babylonians were coming to destroy them. It says, and thou shalt lay siege against it. This shall be the sign to the house of Israel. So when the Most High God have judgments being brought out as a whole on Israel, he always has the prophets go through that judgment first as a sign to literally show you this is going to happen on a bigger scale. Let's keep reading. It says, lie down upon thy left side and lay the iniquity of the house of Israel upon it, according to the number of days. Thou shalt lie upon it, thou shalt bear their iniquity. So Ezekiel had to lay on this side for a number of days, signifying the iniquity that they had to go through for a matter of time. Verse 5, for I have laid upon thee the years of their iniquity, according to the number of the days, 390 days. So shalt thou bear the iniquity of the house of Israel. So we see when the Most High God bring these things out, he always had the prophets go through these things as a sign of judgments to Israel. Let's get another account. Let's go to the book of Hosea. So yes, he literally did walk naked and barefoot for a number of years. People thought Isaiah was crazy, man. But Isaiah understood what was going on. He knew that there was judgment on the house of Israel. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 2. This is how he used the prophet Hosea as a sign. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 2. The beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea. And the Lord said unto Hosea, go, take unto thee a wife of whoredoms and the children of whoredoms. So he literally told Hosea, go take a wife of whoredoms. Now, there's two types of whores. It could be a literal whore, and you can also go into spiritual fornication. This is symbolizing spiritual fornication because of what? The northern tribe going into what? Spiritually fornicating against the Most High. It says, for the Lord had commanded great whoredom, departing from the Lord. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Debiam, which conceived and bare him a son. And the Lord said unto him, call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and I will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. So he had the prophet Isaiah go and take a wife of whoredoms, going into spiritual whoredoms, signifying what? As a sign to the northern tribe on how they were doing what? Spiritually fornicating. So you will see this throughout the scriptures. When the Most High God is bringing judgments, he used it for a sign for that prophet that he's using to bring out those prophecies and judgments on. You understand that, Brother Hosea? Sister Abria, it says, what advice would you give to young people to stay grounded in this truth that wasn't born and raised in it? That's a good question, sis. One of the main things, you would just try to tell them, and it's something that brothers and sisters have to do constantly. You know, even the laws tell us that. Let's get there right quick. You have to constantly talk with them. You know, I constantly talk with my son because it's a lot of peer pressure in school. It's a lot of peer pressure on the phones, Facebook, and all these different type of things. For one, you really do have to monitor the things that they watch on their phones. You know, no TikTok. You know, and I know a lot of times you can only do but so much. But you want to make damn sure that you're trying your hardest to kind of, guess what, get on them and let them know that, guess what, if you're watching inappropriate things, it's consequences for those. So that's the start right there. First of all, you have to constantly talk to them about the truth. You know, giving them examples on how peer pressure comes. One of the main peer pressure is sex and drugs. You know, So I constantly be on my son. Them little girls liking you. Hey, you know what the scriptures say. You know, you understand you have friends and y'all talk and y'all laugh and play at school, but you keep it just as that, and giving them the understanding that guess what? You may have friends that may try to deter you from this truth, but don't fall for these things. You have to understand the judgments that comes with breaking God's laws. So let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house. That's what you have to do. You have to constantly be doing what? Talking to your sons and daughters about the scriptures, giving them the understanding on how important it is to keep God's commandments so you can be safe from judgment. Because like we always tell them, the Most High God kills kids. He kills kids and he doesn't play around. So it is pivotal for parents to instruct their children. It says, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Meaning what? You're continually talking to them, asking them about certain situations that may be posed to them at school or when they're not under your supervision. Because we can only be with our children so much because of working. Esau has his foot on our neck, working 10, 12 hours, some jobs, so you barely get to see your child. But you have to make that effort to constantly teach them about the scriptures. That's one of the main things, sis. And going over precepts like this definitely helps. Also going over the book of Sirach, it's many, many precepts showing them that guess what? It's penalties for breaking God's commandments. Precepts we always go to. Babe, could you bring me a water, babe? But most definitely a chapter that brothers and sisters should always go over with their children is the book of Sirach, chapter 30. The book of Sirach, chapter 30, verses 1 all the way down to verse 13. What's wrong? Yeah, give me that. So the book of Sirach is a great, great chapter to read over. We're just going to kind of go over a few things that you can bring out to help them stay grounded. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 1. He that loveth his son causes him oft to feel the rod, meaning get on your children, whoop their behind when they're out of order. These things are pivotal to their growth. They have to understand consequences and judgments, and that's a light thing for our whipping, but just giving them the understanding that the Most High God, hey, he has a bigger belt and he hits harder with it. It says that he may have joy of him in the end. He that chasteneth his son shall have joy in him and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. Meaning when you're amongst your friends, you don't have to worry about them embarrassing you, being out of order, talking back, being combative. No, you whoop they behind while they're at home so they don't, guess what, disrespect you when you out in public and embarrass you. It says, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy. Why do you grieve the enemy? Because in this society, they have literally programmed our people to be a certain way. So when you're teaching your son or your daughter according to the Bible, that offset what Esau is trying to do to our people. Remember, they're trying to destroy our people. So when you teaching them the Bible, guess what? They don't like that, man. That grieves them. It says, and before his friends, he shall rejoice of him. Meaning what? When you're around your people, your peers, you rejoice of him because you not only do other brothers and sisters see that he keeps the commandments, but you see it. And that makes you proud. Verse 4, it says, though his father die, yet is as though he were not dead. For he had left one behind him that is like himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful. So these are pivotal things that brothers and sisters must teach their children so they can continue on this lineage after we die. Verse 6, it says, verse 6, he left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one shall requite kindness to his friends. He that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds, and his bowels will be troubled at every city. Meaning, when you play with your children, when you letting wickedness just pass by, guess what? He gonna make you a laughing stock, man, and he's gonna make your butt hurt. This is what your bowels is going into, man. Verse 7, he that maketh too much of his son shall bind up his wounds. Meaning what? You're making excuses for a wicked son or a wicked daughter. We can't play the games. It says, and his bowels will be troubled at every cry, and horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful. Meaning what? Willful to do evil. Meaning just like how you have to break a horse, you have to break a child. Teach him right from wrong. Teach him from obedience and disobedience. Verse 9, conquer thy child, and he shall make thee afraid. Play with him, and he will bring thee to heaviness. Meaning it's okay. It's not saying that you can't enjoy your children or play with them. It's talking about play with them when they out of order. Play with them when they doing wicked stuff. You know, he cussing out a parent and you, no, we're not playing those games. He finna get his behind beat. Verse 10, laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. And it's talking about in judgment when they're going off or doing wicked things. Verse 10, verse 11, give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies. So this is a great read for brothers and sisters all the way down to 13. Great read to help build up your children in this truth. Shalom, Yarad, 12 Stone. Shalom, Sister Carmen, Brother Lamar. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Did you understand that, Sister Bria? Shalom, brothers. Shalom, Sister Daya. Now, Brother Jonathan said, what is Wisdom of Solomon 19:3 going into? Let's get there right quick. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 19 and verse 3. Let's start up at the top at verse 1. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 19 and verse 1. As for the ungodly, wrath came upon them without mercy unto the end, for he knew what they would do. It says, how that having given them leave to depart, he sent them hastily away. They will repent and pursue them. For whilst they were yet mourning and making lamentations at the graves of the dead, they added another foolish device and pursued them as fugitives, whom they had entreated to be gone. So, Brother Jonathan, when you read the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, 18, 19, this is literally going into details on the plagues that happened in Egypt and what happened after the plague. So this is going into that last plague when the Most High God killed all the firstborn. This is what this is going into, and it goes extensively into it, into details on how the Most High God literally did that. So ultimately, they would pursue them, so the Most High God could do what? Destroy them even more with the crossing of the Red Sea and the flooding of the Red Sea. So this is what this is going into, extensively. I'm gonna jump up. Let me see. Where do I want to start? Let me see things already. Let me start at Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 22. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 22. So he overcame the destroyer, not with strength of body, nor force of arms, but with a word subdued him that punished. Meaning this is when the Most High God sent down Christ. A lot of times, I know a lot of times when brothers and sisters was growing up, the older generation, where grandma and papa used to make you watch that 10 Commandments movie with Charleston Hester, and it goes into that last plague, that 10th plague, where it sent that fog out, and it literally killed all the firstborn of the Egyptians. Well, the Bible goes into great detail, and it wasn't nothing like that. When you read this chapter, it shows you how the Most High God sent Christ down. Let's get that account. Let's jump up some more. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 15. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18 and verse 15. Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction. So this is going into the Most High God doing what? Who's the word of the Most High? The word of the Most High God is what? It's Christ, according to John 1 and 1. Christ is the word of the Most High. And the Most High God gives Christ commandments. And guess what? He is happy to do those things. So this is the Most High God giving Christ a commandment to go down there and take care of business. I'm going to read this again. This is for brothers and sisters that have eyes and ears to hear. If you can receive it, you'll receive it. Meaning, if you can understand what we're bringing out, you will. If you won't, you may have to just meditate on it. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 19, verse 15. Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction, and brought thine unframed commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death. And it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth. That's some heavy stuff right there. Because Christ, when he came down, he did a lot of killing. It ain't like how we see in the movies. Verse 17, then suddenly visions of horrible dreams troubled them sore, and terrors came upon them unlooked for. And one thrown here and another there, half dead, showed the cause of his death. So when the Most High God sent Christ down there, angels down there, no, it wasn't like that smoke. No, you had angels and Christ tearing stuff up down there. I'm going to read that again if brothers and sisters caught it. And one thrown here, another there, half dead, showed the cause of his death. For the dreams that troubled them did foreshow this, lest they should perish and know not why they were afflicted. So we seen in this last plague how the Most High God sent Christ and the angels down there to literally tear all the firstborn of everything up. Firstborn of every family and the firstborn of animals too. And it's said in the scripture that it wasn't no one in Egypt that didn't have somebody that didn't die in their family. Think about it, man. Firstborn of everybody. So if a mom and dad have only one son, he gone. But that mom or that dad could both have been the firstborn. So that whole family could have been wiped out. Brothers and sisters not thinking about things like that. I'm going to jump down. Verse 22. It says, so he overcame the destroyer, not with strength of body, nor force of arms, but with a word subdued he that punished, aligning the oaths and covenants made with the fathers. Verse 23. For when the dead were now fallen down by heaps, one upon another, standing between, he stayed the wrath. This is going into what? It was so many dead bodies that guess what, man? It was a lot of dead bodies during that time, even just by me giving an example. Maybe whole families got killed that night. It says, for when the dead were now falling down by heaps, one upon another, standing between, he stayed the wrath, meaning he stopped the killing of the firstborn and parted the way to the living. What is this going into? After he killed them, he parted the way of living, meaning he was going to do his miracle to part the Red Sea so that they'll be able to pass safely. Let me jump down. Now, when we get to chapter 19 and verse 1, as for the ungodly, wrath came upon them without mercy unto the end, for he knew before they what they would do. So God knew. They said that they weren't going to do nothing, but the Most High God did what? He made their hearts adamant, harder than adamant flint. He hardened their hearts to make them come and pursue the Israelites. so that he could get more glory when he parted the Red Sea. This is what these accounts is going into on a deeper, detailed level. It says how that having given them leave to depart, he sent them away hastily. They will repent and pursue them. So we know that Pharaoh was pissed off. He got his horses, he got his chariots, they loaded up and they pursued the Israelites. Verse 3, for while they were yet mourning, meaning they were mourning because they lost their firstborn. I hope brothers and sisters are following me. Making lamentations at the graves of the dead, they added another foolish device and pursued them as fugitives. What was that foolish device? That they chased the children of Israel trying to get revenge. The Most High God literally was setting them up for the trick bag to guess what? To destroy them even more. It says, whom they had entreated to be gone. It says, for the destiny where they were worthy, drew them unto this end, and made happen that they might fulfill the punishment which was wanting to their torments. So this is what this is going into. That's a great question that you asked. I'm gonna tell you, you have to read, and I did a class on this. We kind of go into this every Passover. It'd be like the Passover classes that I do, going into great details on the 10 plagues. So to kind of get a extended breakdown on it, type in Battle Axes 10 plagues breakdown. Shalom, Sister Mitra, how you doing? I'm gonna tell you, man, that's a great read. Make sure brothers and sisters read chapter 17, chapter 18, and chapter 19. Great read. Shalom, Danyala, Bun Yahawada. How you doing, Ak? Shalom, yes, shalom. Just found this camp, y'all bows. Well, yeah, we be everywhere, Ak. Well, when we be downtown, they just station right there. You know what I'm saying? They as the transit police. So, yeah, you know, hey, you're coming in the spirit of the Most High, man. So the Most High God told us not to have no fear. You know, so we don't have it. Shalom, Sister Genesis. How you doing, sis? Shalom, Sister Hannah. Shalom, Brother Dexter. How you doing? Shalom, Sister Bossing Up. Shalom, Soldier Ezra. He says, can you give a couple of precepts on order? That's good. Let's get that. Let's get a couple of precepts on order. One of the first orders that we must have, we have to understand that in our nation, we don't deal with Democrats and Republicans. We don't deal with democracy. The Lord's nation is totally dictatorship. This is a new concept to our people. That's why our people are bugged the hell out. No, the Most High God is not by democracy. He is about total dictatorship. You know, he don't deal in that Republican, Democrats, no, none of that stuff. No, we on one accord with keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. And he's going to set the order. That's literally why we have a hierarchy in our nation. You have the Most High, you have Christ, you have the 12 disciples, you have the 144,000, you may have other officers, soldiers, and so on. That's how we set up our congregation as well. Men, women in church. That is the pecking order. And brothers and sisters have to understand that order. When you don't understand it, and you don't understand your role that you play or what your role is in the nation of Israel, it's always problems there. Men are supposed to, guess what, rule over sisters in righteousness. No, we're not ruling like lions. But guess what? It is our job to be the leader of the house. It's not 50-50. It's 100-0. Because are you going to say that with Christ? Christ, I think we should be 50-50. Christ's going to look at you and say, it's 100-0 to us in Christ. And guess what? It's 100-0 with the Most High in Christ. And brothers and sisters got to understand that place. Let's get some precepts on that. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy. Let's kind of start with the rank. Because one of the main things why brothers and sisters may not like camps, they don't like order. That is the whole point. They do not like order. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 15. And it reads, so I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, captains over hundreds, and captains over 50s and captains over 10s and officers among your tribes. And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brother and judge righteously between every man and his brother and the stranger that is with him. So the Most High God had always set up order to guess what? To keep things in order, because you may need a particular brother over here to handle this situation. You may need a particular type of brother over here to handle that situation. Even Moses, he had to learn these things because remember, it's millions upon millions of our people. Moses couldn't handle every situation. So he had to set up order amongst our nation of people. The Bible is all about order. That's why it sets up the rank in the Bible, man. And brothers that don't like rank, sisters that don't like rank, a lot of times I find out 9 times out of 10 is because they're having secret sins. Niggas don't like to be told what to do. Brother, we understand that you are a man, but guess what? The Most High God had set up the order, and we're following the order that the Bible has set up. It's always been set up that way. Let's go to the book of First Peter's. But you have brothers and sisters that despise dignities, meaning they hate order. They hate it, man. And the Most High God is going to deal with them. Not wanting to be in the count when the law specifically say that, guess what? You have to join one to another. That's literally a law. So you can't combat that, man. This is the book of, let's go to First Peter's. This is the book of First Peter's chapter 1. Let me see what I want. Despise dignities. Let me see. Think it's strange. Favorite charity. Gentiles. I want the one. It's got to be right. I know it is. Noah, vexes Holy Spirit. Okay, this is what I want. This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 10. And it reads, but chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. Despising government means you hate order. You hate what leadership. And we get that a lot of times from brothers. A lot of times you ask brothers, brother, why you ain't in the camp? Well, I don't like camps, man. You camps be off. Man, stop it, brother. No, your butt is off because you got secret sins, because the Bible is literally telling you to do what? Gather yourselves together. And you know it's the case because, what, nigga, won't you start your own damn camp? If that's the case, if you don't like order. Because we know a lot of times the Most High God ain't dealing with wicked brothers like that just want to have preeminence. You just want to be the head nigga in charge. No, it's a lot of responsibilities that come with these things. And if you're not in the right spirit, the Most High God will just end up taking it from you anyway. So the Bible is all about order, man. What do you think the 144,000 is going to be about, man? You got 12,000 of each tribe. What you think? Do you thinking they ain't going to be in order up under Christ? Come on, man. It says, but chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. Presumptuous they are, self-willed, and are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. So we see these things where you have brothers that don't like order, that do what? Speak against leadership. And all we doing is going with what the Bible say. The Bible constantly tells us to, guess what? Be in order. Guess what? Get up on the leadership. Learn these scriptures from learned men that you know that are in the spirit. And guess what? Know to keep the commandments. We ain't talking about brothers and sisters getting with a wicked leader, man. A lot of times brothers and sisters want to be simple. Everybody in Israel ain't wicked, man. And guess what? That's why we have the scriptures to do what? To be able to try the spirit by the spirit. So if you see a brother teaching something that you know damn well ain't in the Bible, don't get with that particular camp. But the Bible is all about order, man. And that's something that we can never deny, man. Bear with me a moment, brothers and sisters. Shalom XXXX. Hold on, Soldier Ezra. Well, I'm gonna tell you, sis, Sister Abrea, if they're up under your roof, they really don't have a choice. You know, they have to do what you tell them to if they're up under your roof, sis. You know, and that's first and foremost. So no, it is not a choice. If you're up under my roof, you're gonna keep these commandments. Hey, now if you get out and move on your own, that's on you. But while you're up under my roof, yes, they have to keep the commandments. But order is very, very important, man. Matter of fact, let's get the classic. Let's go to the book of First Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 40. Because the scriptures literally tells us. This is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 40. It says, let all things be done decently and in order. So, that's one of the prime examples right there. All things, not some things. So, a lot of times brothers hate order because a lot of times brothers and sisters lack discipline. That's another thing that you must have to have order. You have to have discipline. That's going into what? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 4. If you lack discipline, you have to pray that the Most High God give you the spirit of discipline. It's spirits in all things, man. And this is just another spirit that you must pray for. So in order to have order, you have to understand rank. You have to understand hierarchy. You have to understand that we're doing this to build a nation of people. A nation of people is in order. You have to be in order. How are you going to be in order? You not in order. You trying to teach your wife to get in order. That makes no sense to me, man. Niggas be wicked as hell, and they are smoking the Most High God knows, man. Nigga, you wicked as hell, but then you want a sister to fall automatically in 9. Nigga, you better get the hell up out of her, man. I promise you, man. Most High God gonna judge your behind for that, man. That stuff is wicked as hell. Brothers got to tell you 2 and 3 times, but then you don't have no patience when it comes to you teaching your wife. Brothers, that is going off. Now, it's not to say that we don't play the games with sisters, but you got to have patience and you got to have long suffering. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 4, and it reads, for into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin. Verse 5 is the point. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness comes in. So another thing, in order to have order, you must pray for the spirit of discipline. That's one thing that brothers and sisters need. That's one thing that we don't have as a nation of people. We go outside these doors, we see everything that's out of order. Men are out of order. That men want to be women. Women want to be men. That's literally what Esau's goal was, to do what? To reverse our roles as a nation of people. If you can get people to reverse their roles, that is the recipe for a doomed nation. And they done did a good job at destroying our people. You know, Christianity at the forefront of those things. That's mainly why you see feminine men in those churches and masculine women, you know, and how they're filled with women. So those are certain precepts that brothers can go to. Like I say, you have other precepts. Let's get some more. Remember, even when we were setting up the temple, everything had to be done in order. When you're reading the book of Leviticus, that's literally showing you the order. The Most High God was giving them specific instructions, and we seen even on how to carry the Ark of the Covenant. When what? Not to touch it. Nobody could touch it but the Levitical priest. And guess what? People touched it and they got what? They got destroyed for not following the order. Let's get some more precepts. These things. Let's go to the book of Exodus 39 and 37 real quick. All these things are due to being set up in order. 39 and verse 37. So I can looking for something real quick. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 39, and verse, 37. This is going into the instructions for the tabernacle. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 39, and verse 37. And it reads, the pure candlestick with the lamps thereof, going into the manure, even with the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for the light. Meaning what? These are always, brothers and sisters, have to always look at this on a spiritual level. We're setting the candlesticks in order. Remember, the candlesticks is going into the spirit of man. Setting that light on our candlestick, the light is going into what? The law, statutes, and commandments. This is literally on a deeper level. Brothers and sisters have to be able to see this. Us what? In order to be in order, we have to have the laws, statutes, and commandments on our candlestick. You know, this is just an outlook on how we're supposed to, guess what, carry ourselves and conduct ourselves as a nation of people. Going into Job chapter 11 and verse 6, these things are what? Double to that which is. The wisdom of this Bible. So yes, you can read these things in context, but it's always a deeper understanding to be had. Let's get some more. You have, that's not what I wanted. I'm looking for a specific precepts. It's not what I want. That's not what I want. Get that Judges. Oh, that's what I want. I have to come back to that. South. Shalom, shalom. Is that my brother Obadiah, man? XXX. I think that is. Look at Southeast Asia. You got a brother Obadiah, man. My brother over there in the Philippines, man. Shalom. Says Sister Abria, the main thing I get from my young guys is they felt forced into it. So when they finally get to an age of making their own choice, they leave the truth or don't care. And I'm going to tell you, sis, and that may be the point, but that's something that you can't worry about, because at the end of the day, they have to walk these commandments on their own. You know, they have to walk them for themselves. So let them be fully persuaded in their own mind. They got to work out their own salvation with fear and trembling, man. We can only do so much in the truth. You know, we can show them, we can guide them, but guess what? We can't force them when they get to a adult age. You know, that's between them and the Lord. We have to let the Most High God take care of that. Let's go to this is the book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 12, and it reads, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So ultimately, they have to be fully persuaded in their own mind. They have to work out their own salvation. You know, we have to walk this walk ultimately by ourselves to the kingdom. You know, not to say that you don't have help with brothers and sisters, but it's solely dependent upon you if you really want to do what the Most High God is commanding you. So I know a lot of times when they get to that adult age, says you just throw up some prayers, throw up some fasts, ask the Most High God to kind of keep the spirit on them and don't take his Holy Spirit away, according to Psalms 51 says. More. I tried talking with my niece about it, but she said to me that she doesn't want a book to dictate her life. You know, but the thing is, even she's already being dictated. You know, little do they know, Esau is dictating every action to our people. They tell our people when to get with their family, meaning celebrate Christmas, celebrate Thanksgiving, celebrate New Year's. You know, her life is already dictated. So you might as well be dictated by the Most High, you know, the God of righteousness and truth, you know. So we hate that. Brother Danyala, Arab black men got a smoke detector with low batteries. Do you hear that? I barely hear that. I know a lot of times they always say that too. I know I got the. Oh, there you go. I've been meaning to change. I'm glad you said that too. That damn brother Danyala, clever lore. Brother Jose, 53 and 10. They got twins up in there. Shalom, Ox. Shalom, shalom. Yeah, we got to. We got to constantly pray for our people. Don't be let me see. Officer Yaakov. Shalom, Captain. What's some good precepts to prove Mexicans or Israelites? Let's go to the book of to kind of understand that. I'm gonna tell you to understand Mexicans or Israelites, you need three things. You need to understand Genesis chapter 49. You also need to understand Deuteronomy chapter 33, and you also have to understand history. It's many historical books, that I have. Need to get many more. I know brother Asad from Sakara brought out a beautiful book. And Bishop Nathaniel from IUIC, shout out to those brothers. Brought out this book called A Star from the West, where it's literally, and I gotta get that book too, where it literally tells you that the so-called white men know that the Mexicans are of the tribe of Issachar. It literally said it verbatim in the book, and I gotta go to my notes too to get that page because I gotta get that book. But you also have books like The Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. This book right here kind of backs up what the Bible is saying. So good precepts that we like to go to, obviously we go to Genesis 49. But I'm going to tell you, brothers have to be super in the spirit to be able to receive that, meaning to be able to understand it. And a lot of times brothers are not there. There's the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 14, and it reads, Issachar is a strong ass, crouching down between two burdens. So we know that the animal symbol for the tribe of Issachar is the ass. Why is it an ass? Because a donkey is a workhorse, is a work machine. Shit, ain't too many animals out there working harder than a damn donkey. You put a donkey on the farm, you can get a lot done. Think about the characteristics of Mexicans today, so-called Mexicans, which are of the tribe of Issachar. Man, they are some of the hardest workers you have ever seen. You can literally have about 10 Issacharites build a house in about a damn week. Think about the so-called Mexican Americans that are out here fixing the bridges, fixing the highways, doing janitorial service. They are some of the hardest workers you will ever see. And this is why the Most High God compares them to an ass, because an ass also is a hard worker. So that's one characteristic that shows you that the Issachars are the so-called Mexican Americans. I'm going to give you another one that we brought out last week. Let's go to the book of, what is that? First Chronicles. One of my favorite precepts I like to bring out. The book of First Chronicles, chapter 12 and verse 32. This is the book of First Chronicles 12 and 32. And the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times. When it goes into the times, it goes into being able to count, just like the Mayans. Remember, the Mayans were well known for their long count calendar. Many of the scholars, they was using it even till today. They had understanding of the signs. They could navigate very well, and that goes into some of the characteristics that Issacharites have even today, being of the descendants of the Mayans, so that's other characteristics that they have as well. I want to read some from this book too. I'm going to just read a little bit out of this book. If brothers and sisters don't have this book, hey, this is a good book to have. Kind of give you understanding on the so-called white man, they know who we are. You know, they know exactly who we are. You know, we're just not going to even play the games. They know in this many books. You know, when I first came into the truth, just to hear about this book was thousands of dollars, man. Like, I got the paperback. You know, I'm going to get the cheap kind because I can't afford that. And we know once these books started to be mentioned, they started to rise these books even more. You know, let me see if I can find it real quick. Page 364. So I want to read this. This is page 364 of The Lost Tribes and Promised Land, The Origins of American Racism by Ronald Saunders, page 364. I'm just going to read a few. It's page 364, the third paragraph. It says, waving a banner high in the air, the Indian guide soon was greeted by a puff of smoke far beyond the other bank of the river. This is going into Montezumos when they discovered, or not discovered, stole America. They had an Indian guide with them. They also ran into so-called Indians, which were Israelites. And this is the encounter that is going into. It says the two men waited. Eventually a canoe appeared bearing 3 men and a woman, all of them Indians, to the place where Francisco and Montezumos were standing. These are proteges of Christopher killing Columbus. It says, we're standing at the water's edge. The woman got off, or Spaniards or Italians. It says the woman got off and spoke to Francisco in an Indian tongue that Montezumos could not understand, although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation. So they get to the land where our people are, tribe of Gad, Issachar, and other tribes of Joseph. So they're speaking to them. They're having an encounter. They can see that they're talking to them, but they didn't understand the language. It says, she then turned to her male companions to explain the situation. Upon hearing her words, they rose, went over to Montezumos, and to his utter astonishment said, Shema, Israel, Adonai, Inahu, Adonai, Ehod, meaning, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. They literally recited to them the credo in Hebrew. This is going into what? Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. I'm going to say it again, where it means, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. They had recited in Hebrew the fundamental credo of Judaism. A brief conversation then ensued in their common ancestral tongue, according to Montezumos, whose fluency in it is almost as perplexing to the reader of his narrative as is of his 3 mysterious new companions. They told him that they themselves were of the tribe of Reuben, and that the tribe of Joseph lived on an island nearby. So these scholars know, the world know. All our people know who we are, but we don't know who we are. I also have another book. This is a great book too, called The Ancient Americans and Indians, Their Origins, Civilizations, and Old World Connections. This has some good information in there too. It's literally bagging up what's being said in the Lost Tribes in the Promised Land, doing comparative research. So those are just a few precepts to even just kind of show, you know. I know kind of putting together, you know, a breakdown, kind of go extensively into that. Shalom, Sister Yael. Then obviously, like you say, the prime example is 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. And we can literally see why the so-called white man took this out of the Bible. This is one of the main reasons. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40. And it reads, These are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king. And this is going into what we read earlier in 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 3. It says, whom Salmanessar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land. This is going into when the Assyrians came and destroyed the northern tribe and took them into the Assyrian. The waters that he carried them over were the Euphrates River. Verse 41, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Remember, during the ancient times, all nations were on the eastern hemisphere. This place wasn't even thought about in the Americas. That's why it says where never mankind dwelt. No nation of people had this land. They may have been coming over here, but no nation of people dwelt in this land. It says that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. So now it's giving you the directions that they took. You take the Euphrates River, go down to the Persian Gulf, sail into the Persian Gulf all the way around the east coast of Africa, around the bottom of Africa, and come up by the west coast. You will see that Brazil, that South America is not just too far from the coast of West Africa. It says, and they enter into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Arsaret. So when you look up Arsaret in a Jewish encyclopedia, it would tell you that Arsaret is known as America. So as many precepts like 2nd Ezra's, like Genesis 49, like Deuteronomy 32, like 1st Chronicles 12, those precepts identify who the tribe of Issachar and other tribes as well. No need to cry, sis. You know, shoot, we brothers and sisters just like you. Sister Sapphire, question regarding Joshua 4:5. Are we supposed to keep this? If so, how do we keep this memorial? If not, and why? Let's go get that real quick. Let's go to the book of Joshua, chapter 4 and verse 5. But that was a great question, Officer Yaakov. This is the book of Joshua chapter 4 and verse 5 through 7. And it reads, and Joshua said unto them, pass over before the ark of the Lord your God into the midst of Jordan, and take you up every man of you, rise a stone upon his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, that this may be a sign among you, that when your children ask their fathers in time to come, saying, what mean ye by these stones? Then ye shall answer them, that the waters of Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord when it passed over Jordan. The waters of Jordan were cut off, and these stones shall be for a memorial unto the children of Israel forever. So obviously we can't do that, sis, because we're not in our homeland, you know. So we still have that memorial because we have the scriptures, you know, and that's something that brothers and sisters can just meditate on. You know, just pray to the Most High God that we get back to our homeland so we can be able to experience those things. Praise the Most High God for, guess what? Splitting the Jordan River so that we may cross over to eventually get the land of Israel. You know, so, you know, some things we can't keep here over in this captivity. That's why we always tell brothers and sisters to do the best to our ability. But we always have that memory in our minds, sis. And that's something that you should always just kind of meditate on in reverence. You understand, sister? Y'all give me feedback if I'm answering the questions adequately. Don't just be saying con, yeah, if y'all don't really understand it. You know, we don't play the games like that. We go over more precepts if need to. You know, I kind of be limited in what I can do because I'm trying to get to every brother and sister question. But some certain questions can go on for a minute. I mean, all praises. Ultimately, clever Lord, the Most High God woke you up. You know, he used him as a vessel to do it, though. But we have to always give all honor and praises to the Most High, because ultimately he's the one that did it, you know, that literally They sent the angels down or sent that spirit down for you to, guess what, be ignited by this word. It's time for you to wake up. All praises, sis. Next to 12, you said you was dying. Yeah, no fear. Yeah, that's literally in the scriptures. Let's bring that out. Let's go to the book of 2 Timothy. Most High God didn't give us the spirit of fear. Brothers and sisters should know the precept. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 7. For God had not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So now we're not dealing in that. And we got to bring it, thus saith the Lord, whether our people are here. Hey, that's right. Get the scriptures or get lost. That's right. It is a racial hierarchy too. That's exactly right. That's right. You must provide for your whole family, according to 2 Timothy. If you don't, you're less than an infidel. Yeah, and that's what camps are for. We're commanded to join. We're commanded to join camps, according to the book of Zephaniah. Genesis chapter 49. It's one that we love to read, especially in Zephaniah. Let's get that right quick. Hadn't read it in a while. Damn bastards. I've been having to go to work, ain't even been able to go to camp. So I'm just pissed off. So we might have a damn 6-hour damn Q&A. I know my wife. What time is? Damn, that time be going by fast. Ask the Most High God to slow the time down. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. So we're commanded to gather ourselves together. You got Psalms 133 and 1. You got Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. These are laws commanding us to gather ourselves together. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. We gather together because when one of us fall, you have two more to pick you up. You have brothers and sisters that hold each other accountable. Sister, you going off. Brother, you going off. Why you ain't been in class? What's going on? What type of spirit you dealing with? Brother, shake that lust spirit. Sister, shake that whore type spirit. Sister, you need to be dressing more appropriately. Brother, what's going on with you? Most High God literally commands that we need to get together so we can hold each other accountable. There's many, many precepts concerning those things, man. Today at work, the women at the salon wanted to love me when I told them that they need to have order and follow God-given hierarchy. They didn't like that. Bottom of the barrel mess. No, they don't. When you speaking positive things that is not ratchet, what's her name? Dirty Red, Sexy Red, and Hoochie, Sukiyana, and all that crap. That's a good question, Sister Genesis. Said the Most High ain't wrong. Apologetics, they feel like comes from the Latin word apologia, meaning, let me just look it up. They feel like they have the defense for the gospel. And as a way to basically, they think that they have the correct teachings of the Bible from how Christianity started. So they're basically teaching the right way, how they feel like through apologetics. Like, we're sorry for how it was taught this way. Now we're doing it the right way. But they think that they have the gospel and they don't even understand the scriptures. I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about at all, sis. And vocab no swag steady be getting destroyed out there. So we want to bear with me, brothers and sisters. It says, and basically what I said, but we're going to get the definition. Apologetics in Christianity, the intellectual defense of the truth of the Christian religion, considered a branch of theology. So they feel like they have the intellectual defense of the true Christian religion. It says in Protestant usage, apologetics can be distinguished from what is it? Let me see, what is this word? Bear with me, brothers and sisters. In polemics, in which the belief of a particular Christian church are defended. So they think that they basically are set up for the defense of the true breakdown of the understanding of the Bible, so to speak, sis. Yeah, that's right. That was a wicked camp. I ain't gonna lie. That brother wicked as hell. Talking about that eat pork and celebrate pagan days. Oh, no, that's exactly right, brother Dunn, y'all. Brother's wicked as hell. So yeah, that's all that is going into, Sister Genesis. They think that they basically have been set up to teach the truth of the Bible, to apologize from uh false teachings. But hell, that still is a false teaching. They just repackaging it under a new name. Hell, that's all that it is. Are they not your kids, sis? Yes. I mean, it's nothing you can do in that situation. All you can do is just tell them the truth and pray that the Most High God put it on their spirit to start keeping the commandments. No, sis. It says Monique Smith. It says if your husband is not following the Most High God, do you still have to follow him? Now the thing is, you follow the Most High God, sis. Now he's still your husband because according to First Corinthians, if he's an unbeliever and he's pleased to dwell with you, hey, y'all still be together. You know. Let's read that. Let's go to the book of First Corinthians. This is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 10. And it reads, unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from the husband. But, and if she depart, let her remain unmarried. No, let me jump down. Verse 13, and the woman which had an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let him not leave him. So if you got a husband that's not in the truth and he's okay with you keeping the commandments, doing what you have to do to serve the Most High God, and he's pleased to dwell with you, hey, y'all stay in that. That's what the scriptures are saying, because you'll have these things come up. You just pray that the Most High God can eventually, by your works, bring him into this truth. And then you always have the opposite. When I was in the truth, my wife went in the truth, and it was a fight, but I prayed, fasted to the Most High God, prayed to the Most High God that he would put on her spirit by seeing my example, and it really just changed it comes from you, sis. He's seeing you be the woman of the Bible. You pray that resonates with his spirit. All praise to the Most High. I know when my wife seeing me stop smoking weed and selling drugs, I'm pretty sure she's like, nah, he's for real, because like we always get it testimony, that's how I provided for my family most of the time to have extra money. But when she seen me stop doing that, and it was like, no, hey, let me kind of look into this, not to say that it won't be rocky in the first, but you always want to kind of pray for that, sis. But no, you don't give him power over you to commit wickedness. He's still your husband and he is the head, but not for you to follow him in wickedness. You have to put the commandments over everything. Even Captain Yara brought that out yesterday in the book of Sirach. Don't give them power over you. Let's get there right quick. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 19, and it reads, Give not thy son, wife, thy brother, and friend power over thee while thou livest, and give not thy goods to another, lest it repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again. As long as thou livest and hast breath in thee, give not thyself over to any. So the Bible is telling us you never want to give your husband or your family members power over you to go against the Most High. If it's between them and the Most High, you obviously should know the choice. It's always the Most High. You tell sisters, even my wife, you put the Most High God over me because I put the Most High God over you. His work comes first, but you second. That's right. And the penalty was death. Dexter, you put them precepts up in here, Ox. You know how we roll. This is for all brothers and sisters, man. Y'all know how we get down there. Brothers and sisters got anything to add? I want to see where y'all spirits is at, man. I'm going to see if we vibing in the same spirit, if y'all can bring precepts to add to what we bringing out. So y'all put them precepts up in there too, man. Dexter, you know how we get down. I'll be putting some great precepts in there. So a masculine woman is an abomination to me. They're on the same level as eating shrimp. Yes, that should be a turn off, especially coming back to our heritage, because we had real feminine sisters. Like my wife say, tell sisters that as well in the comment. Put soft girl season in. Brothers don't like no hard ass sister. No, hell no. Sister in there harder than you. Nah, we ain't dealing with that, man. We're talking about Malachi. No, we not dealing with that, man. I'll praise this. Yeah, it sure is. Like that thing gonna be up there for a minute. Shalom, Sister Eva. How you doing? How you and your husband doing? Miss y'all at class, man. Pray, go on and come on back. Tell brother to come back. Damn it. Sister Eva says, Shalom, Captain. We're all reading from the same KJV and not supposed to lean on our own understanding. Why do we have so many camps with different variations on how to keep the commandment? That's a great question, sis. We get that question all the time, and we answer it. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. That is a great question. We hear that all the time. And we're going to bring this out and see if you understand it. Because on a quick note, before we get to the precept, it's Christ's job to get us back on one accord. That's what his job is. And it's for manifold reasons. Just think about it. It was so easy for them to take down the Black Panther Party because you just had one head. Just think about it. The Most High God is setting up multiple camps. So it's multiple heads. So if you cut down one, another one just going to rise up. So it's hard for them to just kind of cut the head off the snake, to say, with lack of better words. So that's why he has many set up. Now, the Most High God is giving them understanding according to the knowledge that they learn from a certain elders. But I'm going to tell you, sis, yes, certain camps do and see things differently through the scriptures, but it's all set up that way. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. It's set up that way because it's ultimately Christ's job to get us all on one accord. He's the master teacher. None of us have the full understanding, sis. So we may see things differently through the scriptures. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20 and Isaiah 58. I hadn't went to it in a while. Bear with me. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 52 and verse 8. Isaiah 52 and 8. I hadn't went here in a while. The book of Isaiah, chapter 52 and verse 8. And it reads, Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. With a voice together they shall sing. For they shall see eye to eye when the Lord shall bring again Zion. So Christ is specifically letting us know we're not going to be on a total 100% one accord until Christ comes back. Why? Because Christ is the master teacher. Christ has the full understanding of the scriptures. There's a lot of deep things in the scriptures. And if brothers is not properly going precept upon precept, yes, you can be off a little bit. You may not have that 100% full understanding. So that's ultimately Christ's job, Sister Eva, to get all the nation on one accord. Let's get some more precepts. Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 9. Saying the same thing. Romans, is that what I want? Yeah. Gotta get my other Bible though, because this one is. So yeah, we get that a lot, and we totally understand that question. And a lot of times so that's why I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't trip when we see brothers teaching certain things. I don't trip at all because I understand the scriptures. I understand there's gonna be difference of doctrines. I can understand why brothers may see that this way, and I also understand why we see it that way. But you blatantly going off by eating pork when the Bible is specific on that, no, there's no way. I see why certain brothers see that in the scriptures when they say not to where they head covered. Well, I see that, but to me it's plain. So we don't do it. To me, that's plain. I don't want to do anything to dishonor Christ. So we see that. But I don't look at brothers' breakdowns and I understand it. I just may not agree with it. This is the book of 1 Corinthians. But ultimately I understand that verse in the book of Isaiah coupled with this verse too. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 9. And it reads, for we know in part, meaning we know the Bible in part, sis. No one out here has the full understanding of the scriptures. If camps are saying they have 100% truth, no. Meaning if they have 100% understanding of each and every one of the breakdowns, similitudes, and parables in the scriptures, no. That's totally going off. But yet, do we have the truth? Yes. But no one knows 100% of it. It says, for we know in part and we prophesied in part. But when that which is perfect is come, going into Christ, when Christ come, then that which is in part shall be done away with. Meaning when Christ steps on the scene, we're going to get the correct understanding. We're going to get the 100% understanding. But right now, we're just doing it to the best of our ability with the knowledge and understanding that the Most High God has given us, sis. So that's why all camps are not going to be 100% on board with one another, because we don't all have the truth. And we're waiting on Christ to put the tribes back together again. You understand that, Sister Eva? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, sis, it's coming. That's why we have Ezekiel chapter 37, sis, where Christ is gonna make two tribes one. It's coming, sis. That's what the kingdom is for. That's why brothers and sisters need to be praying for the kingdom. But that was a precept I had to learn, and I quickly understood that. Like, damn, that's it. Christ is the master teacher, and guess what? It's gonna be like this until you come. That's why we tell you to keep the commandments to the best of your ability. Yeah, that's right. Danielle, I just got by the curse. I looked at Latino's history with, and it's the same story. Might be a little bit different instead of cotton fields. Yeah, that's right. Strawberry fields, tobacco fields, gold and the gold mines, the silver mines. It's going into the same thing. All of us were in slavery to do what? Produce resources for Esau, Thanks, Brother Dexter. And that's what goes into that book, A Star from the West. I got to get that book too. I'm glad that you said that. Like Brother Dexter said, it says it's a city in Mexico literally called Issachar. That's not a damn coincidence. And that's in that book too. I got to get that book. That's right. I'm glad Brother Dunyala said that too. It says Christopher Columbus found America using the story of the lost 10 tribes. It's mentioned many times in writings. That's right. It's mentioned in this movie called The Conquest of Paradise, where it literally a movie showing on what Christopher Columbus did. It literally showing them going into slavery on slave ships as well. They were one of the resources that they took back to took back to Spain and to Portugal. Just took a SS off the book, Captain. I'm going to a Barnes and Noble. Yeah, make sure you do. I'm gonna tell you when you go to a Barnes and Noble, we don't go to that black section. You want to go to the Jewish section. Go to that section. I know they're gonna look at you funny, like, what the hell are you doing over here? Get the hell on, mind your damn business, Esau, because that's where our history is. It talks about Jewish is really going into Israelites, but that's where all our history is in that Jewish section. I need to get another book too, a Jewish encyclopedia. As many books I need to get. Says the only main reason I see Negro only not accept Northern Kingdom is because of jealousy over Latino women. That's well, it's a lot of things. They kind of fighting over territory and gangs and just foolishness. Yes, women is always a part of it, but I'm gonna tell you that's a part of the law too. It's a part of the curse, Salaki, that the Most High God was gonna put enmity between brothers and break the bands of our brotherhood. When you're reading the book of Isaiah chapter 11. But when Christ comes back, all the envy, all the hatred is going to be put away. Matter of fact, let's get that in the book of Zechariah. Made me think. I know Captain Jerubal was talking about this with brother KJV, that I might break the bands of the brotherhood. What brother or sister got that precept for me? Yes, this is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 14. Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, that I may break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel. So the Most High God broke that brotherhood between us. That's why we be at odds with each other, mainly in California. Sometimes here in Texas, a lot of times we still see that brotherhood amongst us. Because I know sometimes we can get along real good with Issachar, but sometimes it's still that underlying hatred that we have for one another. They kind of hate on us because Christ is from the tribe of Judah, Christ is black. A lot of times we hate on them because they are many, so. So Miss Ventura, I explained that Issachar characteristics to a blind brother today. That's purely a town called Issachar in Mexico City today. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Azteca, very domestic asses. That's right. The name Aztec is Hebrew for people of the time. That's some good information to know. The Taino stones, that's right. The Assyrian star, it all connects. That's right. That's some great history the brothers is bringing out. Way more proof than fake small. That's right. The name of the book is called A Star in the West. I have to look at my notes because I got it written down. I gotta get that damn book. I got to get it. Man, y'all forgive me, man. I have 1,000 notes that I just be writing at work. I ain't doing no work at Esau job. I'm taking notes and looking at classes. If they own her, I have to find another job. I'll start from the east. Ain't got it. Damn it. Nope. Kyrgyzstan, all type of stuff. I gotta find it. It might be in my other. That's the one. Yeah, start from the west, start from the east. Let's see. I got it somewhere. I'm gonna make sure, but it's either one. Kind of look that up for me. Start from the east. I know the page number where it's literally going into Issachar as well. Oh, okay. The book called The Star in the West, and the main information is on page 110. You got The Origins of American Indians, page 88. You got books like those that give accounts, and I got to get both of those books. Give accounts of Issachar being so-called Mexicans being of the tribe of Issachar. Country passed down docs from leaders. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's world known that they must keep so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially the Negroes. And I'm glad that you said it because they know the prophecy. They know that the prophecy is that Judah will wake up first. And that's a song that Captain Maccabees love to play, When Judah Wake Up. So, Captain Midaniah, can I text you after class for the name of the book? I need it out. Yeah, come on. It's called A Star in the West. That's the name of the book. All praise. Same here, Sister Ventura. Yes, many books. Like I just read Ancient American Indians. You have Lost Tribes in the Promised Land. You have From Babylon to Timbuktu. I mean, it's literally black. I have a lot of books. When I Was a Slave. I know a brother gave me this. This is a good book too. Christian Muslim Dialogue. You got the Willie Lynch Letter. You got the Negro Question Part 2. You know, I have a lot of books trying to extend my library. Babylon to Timbuktu, Black Indians, a lot of books. So you got the Book of Josephus, where it kind of goes into details on the history concerning the Israelites. Yeah, Sister, there you just put it in there. Shalom, like no other. Yeah, it is. It is. Nah, you ain't. Nah, I said it's like you constantly laughing at me. Nah, I totally understand it. You know, I'm not just super computer savvy. A lot of the militant Shalom. Brother Bala, I keep forgetting that too. Shalom, I get you mixed up with like no other in here. I would say any other questions, bring them out. No, Brother Bala, you should have a lot of questions. Bring them things out. I don't know, Officer Yaakov be helping me out a lot, man, bringing up questions. Shalom, Captain, can you go over Ezekiel chapter 1, verses 4 through 5? Or who is the creatures, or what is the difference between creatures and beasts? Well, those are, they kind of go into the same thing, sis. Remember, the Most High God compares us to creatures and he compares us to beasts, you know, in many scriptures. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel chapter 1. He compares us to beasts and creatures. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1 and verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud. So let's go into some heavy stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I love the book of Ezekiel because this right here is going into the chariots of the Most High. I'm gonna start again at the top. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1 and verse 4. If people don't know what chariots are, it's going into the UFOs or unidentified aerial phenomenon. But it's basically going into the vehicles of the Most High. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 1 and verse 4. And behold, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud. So let's focus on that right quick. It says a whirlwind. Why does it call it a whirlwind? Because it spins. Why does it call it a cloud? Because a cloud is up in the sky. Remember, the Bible talks in metaphors, similitudes, and analogies, comparing one thing to another. So this is what it's comparing the vehicles of the Most High God to, because they spin and they are in the sky and they fly. Let's go to the book of Psalms. We have precepts on chariots. You know, I'm going to start quizzing y'all if y'all don't ask no damn questions. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 104 and verse 3. And it reads, who laid the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots. It says, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angel spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. So the part that we want is verse 3. It says, who led the beams of his chambers in the waters, meaning in the sky, who maketh the clouds his chariots. So when you see clouds, depending on the context, this could be going into the chariots of the Most High. So you also have precepts like what? Psalms, what is that? Psalms 18 and 10. See that. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 18 and verse 10. And it reads, and he rode upon a cherub, and did fly. Yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. So we see in many cases where the Most High God compares the chariots to clouds. Matter of fact, we literally just read it in the book of what? Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1, when it says that Christ is literally going to come back in a chariot. He's literally going to come back in a chariot, and guess what? Destroy Egypt. And we know that America is spiritually Egypt. Let's get some more on that, showing you that the clouds is making reference to the chariots. One of my favorite ones, let's go to the book of Habakkuk. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3 and verse 16. You know, it's a great, great read, man. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3 and verse 12. And it reads, the book of Habakkuk, chapter 3 and verse 12. Thou didst march through the land in indignation. Thou didst thresh the heathen in anger. You need that precept too, because I know next time I teach going into times of threshing. It says, thou wentest forth for the salvation of thy people, even for the salvation of thine anointing. No. Okay. Thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked by discovering the foundation unto the neck. Okay, verse 14 is the point that I want. Thou didst strike through with his staves the head of his villages. The head of Esau's villages is going into his major cities, his major capitals, Washington, D.C., New York City, L.A., you know, some of these major cities. It says, they came out as a whirlwind to scatter me. The rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly. Verse 15, thou didst walk through the sea with thine horses, through the heap of great waters. Verse 15 is the point. And this is written in a dark saying, or basically like hip talk, because chariots are compared to horses as well when you read in the book of Zechariah. I'm going to read verse 15 again. Thou didst walk through the sea. When it says that thou walk through the sea, that's making reference when Christ is going to make his appearance. He's going through the third heavens. He's coming through space. He's coming through the sky to, guess what, get to this place. It says, thou didst walk through the sea with thine horses. The horses that he's making reference to is the chariots. Even when you read in the book of Revelation, chapter 19, you know, it talks about him being on a horse, white. This is making reference to the chariots. It says, thou didst walk through the sea with thine horses, through the heap of great waters. When I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. Like we always say, this scene is so heavy, this prophecy is so heavy. Just think about it. Habakkuk was a righteous man. And Habakkuk said he want to be dead when Christ comes back to invade this planet Earth. That's how, that's how the wrath of the Most High God is coming. We have a righteous man, and he don't even want to see Christ in that day. It says, and I trembled at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh up to the people, he will invade them with his troops. So when Christ comes, he's coming to invade. That's why they always bring these movies with these aliens that's coming to invade with powerful weaponry, and it just destroys America. You know, they don't have no chance in hell. Let's go back to the book of Ezekiel. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding in itself, and a brightness was about it. And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, and out of the midst of the fire. So Ezekiel is getting a detailed description of the chariots of the Most High, showing you how they have lights everywhere, fire enfolding in and out of itself. Verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of four living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Now he's describing the what? These types of angels that are in the chariots. Remember, the Most High God, not every angel looked like a regular man from Sodom and Gomorrah, or like the Archangel Gabriel, or like the Archangel Michael. The Most High God has some terrible creatures he done created. Eyes within and eyes without that are constantly saying, holy, holy, holy to the Most High. Verse 6, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. So you have types of angels called seraphim, which have 6 wings when you read in the book of Ezekiel, Isaiah chapter 6. Then you have what they have cherubims, which are angels that have 4 wings. It says, and everyone had 4 faces, everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. So we see in that the angels are what? What is burnished brass? Brass burned in the furnace, meaning they are dark. They are dark-skinned men, black. It says, and they had the hands of a man under their wings, and on their 4 sides they had, and they 4 had their faces and their wings. So this is going into the chariots of the Most High God, sis, and a type of angels that these particular chariots, that these particular angels were flying. Brother Jonathan said Malachi. Yes, that is basic. That is exactly what that's going. Like Ox said, yes, that's going nuclear. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day shall cometh that shall burn them up. Thus, Salaki, said the Lord of hosts. I know you have to forgive me, but sometimes I just be getting too excited when I read certain precepts. It says, and that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. No, what weapon has the capability to do that? You know, those are things that we have to contemplate, man. Another precept. Let's go to the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. I'm going to jump down to verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. That's that boom. It says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. What has the capability to melt elements? Yes, thermonuclear fire. It says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. That thing is heavy. So yes, precept that with this, that's exactly what that's going into you. Yeah, vocab, no tone. Not the minute. Deuteronomy chapter 13, verses 6 through 8. What you mean? Are you asking for a breakdown on it, Brother Bala? Or are you talking about earlier? It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, and verse 8, and it reads, thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thy eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him. Yeah, kind of give me some feedback on that. No, Sister Daisy said, can we explain Leviticus 18 and 21? Most definitely. Remember, when you read the book of Leviticus, this is going into sexual sins. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 21, and it reads, thou shalt not let any of the seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. So when it talks about Molech, Molech was an ancient deity, mainly the Canaanites worship. So our people would be sacrificing. They would literally burn their children to these things. So when you read in the book of First Kings, Second Kings, when it goes into Manasseh, I'm going to tell you, the son of Hezekiah, Manasseh was wicked as hell. All praises to the Most High. He repented. But guess what? He was literally doing what? Putting his children through the fire. He was literally burning them, man. thinking that they was gonna get some type of spiritual powers or superpowers or something. Wicked as hell. Let's go to the book of, find it. Forge name, Ahab. That's why we have, and this is why we know that the Apocrypha is in the Bible. That's why you have the prayer of Manasseh. You know, the prayer of Manasseh is going into that. What do I want? Jehoiakim, Manasseh, keep going. Yes. This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 4. This is going into Manasseh. This is going into the son of Hezekiah. Brothers and sisters really have to get into the history, understand our kings, our forefathers that were kings. Hezekiah, Manasseh, Josiah, going through these lineages, Jeroboam, Rehoboam, you know, First and Second Kings going to southern tribe, First and Second Chronicles more or less going to the northern tribe. This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 4. And he built altars at the house of the Lord, of the which the Lord said, in Jerusalem I will put my name. And he built altars for all the host of heaven in 2 courts of the house of the Lord. Meaning what? He built altars to worship the sun and the moon. And he made his son pass through the fire and observe times and use enchantments, and dealt with familiar spirits and wizards. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. So what this is going into, our people literally did that, man. Now people do it on a spiritual level by what? Celebrating Christmas, celebrating Thanksgiving. They're literally sending them through the fire. You know, you had it on a physical level, but then you had it on a spiritual level. Esau still do these things on a real level. We literally just went over that video with those small hats in that underground damn tunnel. Ain't no telling what they doing. Bloody baby sheets, man. Come on, man. You know they still doing these things today. I know even Officer Barakai brought this precept out in Count 101. Great precept. Hadn't brought it in a while. These people still do these things today, man. They still do these things. What I want. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 23. Let's start at verse 22. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 22. Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of God, but whereas they live in the great war of ignorance, those so great plagues call they peace. For while they slew their children in sacrifices, or used secret ceremonies, or made revelings, or strange rites. This is going into the things that even Esau do today. Our people was doing that in the past as well. Sacrificing their children, holding strange rituals, secret ceremonies, going into the Illuminati, the Bilderbergs, all the super elite of the 1%. So yes, Leviticus chapter 18, verse 21 is going into how people literally did sacrifice our children, man. You know, but even today, we still are sacrificing our children. Think about it when sisters going to the abortion clinics. That's literally, you know. I say glad. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the most unattractive things with a sister. You know, I'm kind of going to a class. I know Sister Yael asked me into the beauty of an Israelite sister, carnally and spiritually. You know, and that's a good class. You know, piecing it together little by little, because I know that's one of the most unattractive things for a woman, to talk with that manly voice. You know, and sisters have to learn to take off that masculine spirit and put on the feminine spirit. Even by us saying it, you know, lets us know that it's a problem. Other nations ain't saying feminine energy and all this different type of stuff. That shit natural. You should naturally want to be a soft woman. Men don't like hard women. Well, I have to be strong. You know, I have to be a strong black independent woman. You know, no, you got to be a daughter of Zion. Soldier Israel. Said Ecclesiastes 4 and 22, accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fail. That's a great precept for Sister earlier. Great precept, Soldier Ezra. Brother Abraham, trying to call you too. Of these things that shall not be ashamed, except no person to sin by. That's right. That's a great precept. Isaiah 62:6. No, actually, I'm always putting precepts. Y'all make sure y'all put them precepts up in there, man. Yeah, a lot of times your spirit only bear witness with certain people, sis, and it shouldn't be a problem with that. You know, the spirit. Sometimes your spirit bear witness with certain people, so it should be that way. You should only want to vibe with spiritual people anyway. Sister Samitra Younger, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 9. You know, great precepts. I know we put it out earlier. Soldier Ezra, would you use 2 Ezra 14:45 to explain we know in part or no? Let's see. This is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 14, verse 45. 14. Yeah, that's a good precept. That's a great precept. That's a good, deeper precept. Because the point is, the book of 2 Ezra chapter 14, verse 45, and it came to pass when the 40 days were fulfilled, that the highest spake, saying, the first thou hast written, publish openly, that the worthy and unworthy may read it. Meaning what? You have wicked people read the Bible, you have righteous people read the Bible. This is what the Most High God is saying. Publish that openly so that sinners and righteous people can read it. Verse 46, but keep the 70 last, that thou mayest deliver them only to such as be wise among the people. For in them is the spring of understanding, the fountain of wisdom, and the stream of knowledge. And I did so. So yes, you can put that with that on a deeper level. You know, even in the book of to continue in that 2 Ezra chapter 14, verses 6, you know, where it says, these shalt thou declare and these shalt thou hide. You know, so yeah, you can put those precepts with that. All praise. We appreciate the love, Brother Ben. You know, I'm gonna tell you, I love a lot. I love IUIC. I love our brothers, WFI. I love Sons of Thunder. I love Brother Yoel. I'm gonna tell you, at times, may not agree with them wholeheartedly, ISUPK, but I love sometimes Captain Tazariak breaks down. I ain't gonna lie, he told this dude off the bone the other day with regeneration, you know. So I have a discernment on things that I can use and take from other teachers on things that I may or may not agree with in totality. I know how to keep the good stuff and leave the bad stuff. If brothers and sisters are not able to do that while watching other camps, don't do it. That's what we tell brothers and sisters. But if you have a level of discernment, then, you know, by all means, you know, because I love those camps. I love the elders, you know, Priest Zabak, you know, a lot of those brothers. Cap Pila, thank you for your teachers and everything you do. All praise, that's what we're here for. That's a great precept. I needed that precept earlier for Brother Ezra, you know. That is the spirit, Brother Abraham. That's a great precept of the increase of his government and peace. There should be no end, to order it and to establish it with judgment and justice from henceforth forever. So that's another precept that Soldier Ezra can use. And I know he's just asking for edification, because I know, you know, brothers go over precepts like that all the time in Camp 101. Brother Dunyala, yo, maybe let Camp catch up. Yeah, no, I will, man. Man, I can't be that behind. Damn. Yeah, that's why we have Captain Yari in there too. So yeah, you know, we love going through the questions, man. I'm gonna tell y'all, like I always reiterate, man, the questions ain't just for y'all, it's to help us as well stay sharp on precepts, because sometimes brothers and sisters may ask questions on a particular topic that I hadn't talked about or read about in a while. So I need to kind of always stay brushed up on that. So most definitely, but I always have the bruise in there to have my back. So yeah, that's right. Concerning the estate of men, the Most High God calls us beasts. That's a great precept. You know, sisters and brothers putting great precepts in there. Just put Revelations 14:14, Job 14:13. Con Ezra was terrified as well. So proves that the law not done away with. That's right. It says, like no other 144K. Who are the elders you learn from? Is it true you guys are a branch from IUIC? No, we're not a branch from IUIC, but we did come from one body. Now, one body, well, I could say to an extent, one body kind of came from IUIC. So when I first got into the truth, you know, I was learning under a brother named Yepta from one body. You know, I'm gonna tell you, he was a great brother, great leader when we first started out, but now the brother is totally going off. He is teaching things that should not be taught. You know, we love him, but I ain't gonna lie, it hurts, but I'm not surprised because I understand the scriptures in First Timothy. And some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. You know, so I kind of have my spirit guarded. Yes, it hurts, and it still do to an extent, but hey, we got to persevere through. But yeah, I learned from Bishop Nathaniel as well. You know, I learned from many of the elders in here. I mean, that are in Israel. You know, you always have your favorites though. Bishop Nathaniel, Priest Sabak, you know, brothers like that. Learn from brothers Gorilla Hebrew. You know, brothers have great knowledge on a scholarship level. You know, hats goes off. Those brothers are great debaters, great debaters. So I always watch my brothers, man. Them brothers doing great work. You know, great work. So yeah, I watch many of great brothers in Israel. Yeah, peace about. Yeah, he's a mighty brother. You know, I like brother Naquan. You know, we all have our favorites. You know, brothers doing great work. For any building but that battery doesn't seem like I can take that noise on it. If y'all don't quit worried about my damn battery, god damn, y'all finna make me, my ceilings is kind of high. Y'all know I'm short as hell. God damn it, I'm gonna change the battery like Captain Yara. But I remember, brother, he is right. But I'm gonna tell you, my damn smoke detector still work though. Cause I can't even cook when I'm trying to cook breakfast in the morning. Up in there burning up some stuff, it be going off. So I have to kind of pick a little bit of an eye up. I'm gonna change my damn battery. Damn it. Yeah, that thing hurt, brother Dexter. That thing do yeah, most definitely. I couldn't think about leaving the truth. I ain't gonna lie, you can kind of see in the spirit. Now I kind of understand that I was kind of like on a for lack of better words, how do you say, a rapid growth spell. Now we telling brothers it's just a spirit. When the most I got to open up the truth to me, and I was getting and understanding these things, I literally just sitting like in my room. I would just watch it at work. I was literally consumed with it. Watch it at work. Come home. I was taking notes at work. I couldn't even do my job. I was just so consumed with taking notes and watching videos. Now I understand why that was. Literally taking notes for a year and a half. Literally just taking notes. Not doing anything, learning from the videos. And that's a shout out to brothers that are out there. You want to come into the truth and automatically run to the top. No, you have to literally take the time to get a good understanding. When I came into the truth, I literally took notes for about a year and a half. I watched the videos. I learned how brothers read. I learned how brothers precept their Bible. I learned the breakdowns, and I literally took the time in to study, you know, to build myself up. Now I know the Most High God had me on for this specific place now with the battle axes, you know. So I totally understand that now, you know. Yeah, for real. Let the damn thing chirp, damn it. Be tuned in to the scriptures, you know, but that thing do hurt though. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, wouldn't think of leaving it, you know, because like we always go to, this is the book of Hebrews. It's better had you not known this truth. I ain't gonna lie, since y'all said it, damn it, it's getting on my nerves. It's better had we not known the truth, man. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter. What precept do brothers think I'm looking for? Hebrews, chapter. Yeah, that thing getting on my damn nerves. Y'all finna make me go up there and find a damn ladder. Damn it, where's my damn precept at? I, I knew we just gonna laugh every time, man. Y'all messing my damn thoughts up. Where's my precept at, man? Partly, I can't. My mind is just done went blank. For it had been better had we not known the truth. Yes. No, that's not it. Damn it. Damn it. Somebody help me out here. I don't went blank. For it had been better had we not known the truth. Damn it. Y'all gonna have me look at them, and I ain't trying to do that. Just say a little bit of faith. Than to turn from the truth. Y'all gonna make me Google it. Can't no brother or sister help a brother out. Help a captain out. It's cold. Hey, and that's why we need the Q&As, because sometimes, shoot, yeah, it's a lot of precepts, man. You have to have the mind of your Howard shot, remember. Be the word made flesh, brothers. I know we kind of get on our precept for Officer Keenan. Oh, brothers was putting it in. I don't know where my mind is. I'm thinking in Hebrews, Second Peter's. Because a lot of times, even growing up in the truth, we've learned and was taught to put it in our Bible. So I go by my Bible off muscle memory. I know it's on this side of my page. Thank y'all, man. I know I can put it in there, but I still didn't even grasp it. This is the book of Second Peter's, chapter. Is it 2 and 21? Yes. This is the book of Second Peter's, chapter 2 and verse 21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it has happened unto them according to this true proverb: the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the soul that was washed to a wallowing in the mire. Meaning what? You turn back to your wickedness, to your filthiness, you know, and that's, hey, like I said, I wouldn't think of leaving this truth, you know, at all. I pray to the Most High God. We pray to the Most High God that He don't take this truth away from him. And that's what brothers and sisters got to be praying for too, as well, man. No, you're all right. That's why we have these classes, so you can kind of learn at your own discretion. Clever Loyal, you know, to kind of go back, stop the video when you need to, you know. Since I don't know it off the top of my head, or else I would have helped. Cab, praise. That's right. Luke chapter 9, verse 62. Then Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God. That's a great precept, Brother Don Israel. A great, great precept. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all have me laughing every time I didn't even notice the damn detective till y'all said something. You damn Israelites. But I know it's out of love. It's all good. They're gonna make me snatch the whole damn thing out the ceiling. But if there's no other questions, give all honor and praises to the Most High and to His Son Yahushua. Hope brothers and sisters were edified. Remember, help us. Thanks, sis. Proverbs 26:11 and 2 Peter's. That's right. Thanks, House of Brother Daniel, Sister Mary Houston. When y'all coming back up? When y'all coming back up to visit y'all family, man? When y'all coming back up? I ain't gonna say no names. You had sisters come up. Damn, sister. Come up. Sister explained, so I ain't gonna even get on it. She already know before I even put it. They already put it up in the comment board. Or is that for my earlier comment? All praise, sis. No, we miss having y'all in the building. Any comments? Remember, brothers and sisters, I'm glad we thought about it. We got New Moon coming up. We got the Feast of Purim coming up. We got the destruction of Nicanor coming up. Our brothers and sisters need calendars. Make sure y'all reach out to us. Those last few high holy days is still on the last calendar, but you had Maccabees still made a new calendar, but we still got those 3 high holy days left on this year. So y'all make sure that y'all stay tuned in to y'all calendar, getting set up for those things. All praise, Brother Lamar. That's what they're supposed to do. Oh, I said, shoot, that's what we do the classes. It lifts my spirits too. Sometimes we be down now in the spirit, and a lot of times y'all may think that the classes help y'all, but they help us as well, man. They really do. They really do. I enjoy going over the scriptures, going over our heritage, and getting a good understanding of the scriptures. So, most definitely, sis, we'll send y'all one. I'll send it right over, sis. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, them battle axe brothers, them brothers be a trip. I don't even see brothers on the glide or the messenger, man. They be putting all type of stuff up in the messenger. They keep you going through the day, man. Sometimes brothers be putting too much in there. You have to scroll past. Y'all know I'm not a damn text messenger. Yeah, just reach out to us, sis. We have one. I just send it out. Y'all text message me. Oh, praise. How much you get it for? Did you get a big one? Or did you get that little pea shooter off of Harlem Nights? Like I got. I know when we first got the troop, my wife got this little small. Let me see. So I got like the little pea shooter. But a little bit of I know how to blow it. I can't blow it at all. So I need to get me a big one. I tried to buy one when they was on sale. They had them on sale for like $70, like a big one. And it was coming from Israel too. Captain Maccabees and the other, but I think it was like 3 brothers bought one. All of theirs came, but mine didn't come. Man, I was so damn pissed off. I was pissed off. We have brothers that have a nice one. I know Captain Anab have a nice one from COL. So yeah, them brothers be hell. Oh God, you still can't blow it, Officer Yaakov. I can blow it sometimes, but this one right here, this little one is hard as hell. I can't. I just can't do that. Brother Hosea, you suspended for an hour. This brother battle axes in California talking about my damn pea shooter looking like a croissant. I can't with y'all Israelites, man. Give all honor and praise to the Most High and to His Son Yahushua. I pray that brothers and sisters are edified. We always tell brothers and sisters to keep the commandments, so we always like to leave with a law. Remember, brothers and sisters that need counsel, reach out to brothers, man. Remember, don't be trying to fight this thing alone. The Most High God is giving you brothers to help you combat spirits that you deal with, whether it's lust, envy, hatred, um, whatever spirit you deal with, stealing, smoking, I have to give you the proper precepts. So if a new moon is on a Thursday evening to a Friday, yes, that would be considered of a double Sabbath. Yes, so it's different ways of double Sabbaths. It can be right before, on the Sabbath, or after, So yes, I'm glad that you said that, because I know a lot of times we address these things in class, but when the videos goes off, so brothers and sisters that are watching online may not see the extra conversations or don't see the conversations that we have, or the questions that brothers and sisters of the congregation have. So, but we always tell brothers and sisters to keep the commandments. Are you there? Okay, I see it out. Brothers and sisters, y'all throw me some laws out there, man. Throw me some laws out there. I learned a good law. I learned one. Y'all throw some laws out there. What did I want? Did I want that one? Uh, Bear with me, brothers and sisters. Think. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy 22 and verse 28. And there's also precepts with Exodus 22 and 16. This is the book of Deuteronomy going into the law of marriage. This is the book of Deuteronomy 22 and verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, meaning she's not promised to anybody, and lay hold on her, meaning what? You let her know, you take her to know you want to prove her, and y'all end up doing the do. Then the man only that lay with her. No, that's not what I want. Verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he had humbled her. He may not put her away all the days of his life. Meaning, when what? You want to make sure that when brothers and sisters are proving each other, or a man is trying to find a wife, that you want to make sure that you do it the right way. You want to make sure you go about it the right way. The right way to marriage is what? Find a sister. You prove that sister for a certain amount of time. Remember, brothers and sisters, you want to prove a sister to see that real person. A lot of times when brothers and sisters in the beginning, they don't show you the real them. So you want to make sure that you see the real them, and you want to make sure that you do it the right way. In this specific account in the book of Deuteronomy, he didn't do it the right way. That's why he had to literally pay 50 shekels of silver, because customarily the two families would agree or have basically an arranged marriage. Each family would prove each family to see if they're a good household, see if the son is going to be a good husband, or if he's a good child, and the sister is a good daughter or whatnot. And then they would arrange for them to be together, prove one another, set up the marriage chambers. It goes into that because basically the families proved each other for one another, you know. But now we know we done got out of those traditions, but all praise to the Most High God, we coming back to those things slowly but surely. So you may have brothers that may have children, and may see like, hey, I would want my son to take your daughter, seeing the works that brother, that sister have, their parents have in this truth, and combining it with another family that have good works in this truth, and keeping this Israelite nation building going, most definitely. So that's the law for today. Like I said, brothers and sisters, need any counsel, any further questions, make sure y'all reach out to leadership. If brothers and sisters are trying to celebrate these high holy days with us, reach out to us, so we can make the proper arrangements. Remember, even when Soldier Ezra was asking about order, there's heavy order. The sister even said, Captain, if a husband or wife commit adultery, can the spouse forgive the offending spouse? I know adultery is punishable by death, but under the law of liberty, we don't do that. Can they join again? That's a good question, sis. I know we're kind of extensively go into that because I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of heavy. Me personally, sis, it's no scriptures in the Bible that says that they can't. We only see scriptures in the Bible to where it just tells us to put her away, and we know that is for a good reason. But hey, you got a spirit of forgiveness. But I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot that comes with that, sis. Trust is gone. It's a lot of factors and a lot of spirits that play into that, sis. So that is something that we will kind of have to extensively kind of go over, extensively go over. So with that, we give our honor and praises to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh Shai. With that, say shalom.